Hey, welcome to this video about how slow loading times are killing your sales. Now, just to introduce myself, I'm Joshua Simpson. I've always been driven by hard work, determination, and a desire to continuously improve. And these values have played a big part in the success of my business. And one area that I've found particularly important is in the speed of a website. So, just to give you some context, like every 100 milliseconds that Amazon experienced in latency on their website, that cost them 1% of their sales. Now, obviously, if you have 1,000 milliseconds, that's going to be 10% that you're going to lose, 10% of your sales that you're going to lose. Even with like video streaming services like YouTube, for example, when there's a study that said when there was a 2-second delay in loading the video, that people's stress levels increased by 16%, which is quite considerable. Even when the video began playing, if there was a single pause, it doubled their stress levels. And this is because the user at the end of the day doesn't know if it's going to be another second or if it's going to be another 10 seconds for the video to start playing again. And that's if the video loads at all. So we can see that the speed of a page is going to make a huge difference in customer experience and ultimately in sales. How fast are people going to move from being a stranger to being a customer? Because I'm sure you've experienced as well when you went to buy a product online, that maybe it's a little bit frustrating because it's taking a long time to load. And you might find that a lot of the people who abandon carts on your website are these people. They don't want to wait for your website to load, so they're going to go somewhere that's giving them a better user experience, so it's easier to make a purchase. Also, if you're running paid advertising, it's a good thing to know that there's a difference between link clicks and landing page views. And if that difference is too big, then you could be wasting 90% of your ad spend, because not everybody that clicks your ad link is actually going to reach that page. There's some loading time between the click and reaching the page. And if that loading time is too big, then people aren't going to wait around. They're on social media just leisurely browsing through. They clicked your ad, but if it's taking too long, they're just going to go back to scrolling. So especially for paid advertisers, you do want to make sure that you have your page speed to the max, basically. Because another way that it can affect you is, so Facebook basically takes into account how fast your landing page is, because for them, it's all about user experience. If your landing page provides a good user experience, it's going to keep people on the Facebook platform for longer because it's delivering relevant ads. It also opens up the browser in the app. So as long as that page is actually giving them a good experience, Facebook's going to reward you with that by lower CPMs. If your page doesn't convert and it's really slow, Facebook's going to be able to pick up on that and basically increase your CPMs. You're going to be ranked a lot lower in the news feed, for example, which is going to be the cause of your CPM increasing. But on the other hand, you might have a fast loading website that's enjoyable to use. It loads quickly. You're going to get lower drop-offs from ad to landing page. You're going to get higher conversion rates, and obviously, as a result, your sales will increase. But not only just for paid advertising is this important. It's also important if you want to rank high in Google, because Google's going to take this into account as well. And if your website is severely underperforming, then it's probably going to get ranked on, past the second page. So it's important all around. So whether you have traffic on your website and you want to convert them better, or you want to convert more people from paid advertising or organic search, page speed is going to be really important for you. So you're probably just thinking, so how can I improve the speed of my website? It sounds a little bit complicated. Well, there's some very straightforward, simple ways that you can improve the speed of your website today. And one of the first and easiest ways is just to make sure that you've got a reliable website hosting provider. And that's basically going to make sure that you have a website that's able to handle a lot of traffic and load quickly for the traffic that does get to the website. You want to make sure that you've got servers in the countries that you're serving, and people, for example, if you're in the UK and you're starting to get a lot of traffic from the US, you want to make sure that you've got a US-based server so people can connect to that quickly, which means your page is going to load a little bit quicker. But that's not the only way. If you have a good hosting provider, then you want to take a look at the next step, which is basically to optimize all the images, all the image content on your page. So for example, you know, you're gonna have a product image, you're gonna have a logo, maybe some demonstrational images. And a lot of the time people will, so let's say you have a 2000 by 2000 pixel image. It doesn't need to be that big on the page, so people just shrink it down, thinking that, you know, it's a smaller image, because it physically is, right? But the problem with this is that you've basically shrunk down a 2000 by 2000 image. It's still going to be the same file size on the website, which means it takes more to load that image. What you actually want to do is resize the image. So instead of being 2000 by 2000, and you only need something 500 square, then you should change it to that exact size, because it's going to reduce the file size and it will be the size that you need. And then once you've done that, you can also convert that JPEG into a WebP file. WebP files are known to load a lot faster on the internet. So you want to firstly resize your image and then convert it from JPEG to WebP. You could just go on Google, search JPEG to WebP converter, put it in there, download it, and you're pretty much sorted. And then the last step is going to be basically just looking at your website and figuring out what's necessary, what's unnecessary, and removing those unnecessary elements. You know, things like certain like button animations, or you know, any other elements that just aren't needed to make a sale, because they're going to take up you know, some space in the loading process, if that makes sense. So if there's less to load, it's going to load faster, basically. But there's also another solution, and this is for, you know, very serious business owners who are already scaling, and that's basically having a bespoke headless website. That's going to be the fastest option that you can go for. You can probably get speeds of like less than 2 seconds, which is absolutely ideal if you're on paid advertising. It's going to save you a lot of money. It's going to make you a lot more money without actually changing anything else about how the website looks. It's just about having a website that performs and loads fast. And yeah, through that, you're going to obviously get a much higher conversion rate than your competitors. So if having a bespoke headless website is something that you're interested in, you can always message me about that. But if not, I highly recommend that you try the first 3 ways. They're very simple and straightforward to do, and it will make a big difference on the speed of your website. So there you have it. That's the importance of page speed in e-commerce. A few tips that you can use to boost your sales. And if you found this video helpful, if you got some value from it, then feel free to subscribe, because I'm going to be dropping a lot more content like this regarding marketing, media buying, CRO, copywriting, basically everything that you would need to sell and market your products online. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.